Hey guys, what's going on? I just wanted to make a vlog today to talk about a few things. If you like this, feel free to like and subscribe. Also, I have other vlogs if you want to check that out too. Anyway, so today the first thing I want to talk about is being proud to be a gamer. So there's a lot of times when people, I talk to people about games and they seem a little bit uneasy, like maybe at work or different social outings and things like that. Sometimes they're afraid to talk about games in front of people. Even if they're people that play games, maybe they're showing me their deck of cards or whatever that they have for their Magic deck or whatever, but they act like they don't want other people to see that they're doing this nerdy thing or whatever. But I just want to say that we shouldn't be scared to talk about our gaming experiences, our D&D campaigns, all that sort of things in front of people, because what's the worst thing that could happen? People could be like, oh, what are you doing, or what are you playing on that table? And that gives you an opportunity to explain things to people. They might not sit down and join you for the game, but at least you can talk to it. I've been playing games at lunch on work break since I basically have had the job where I'm at right now. And it all started with a guy I started talking to about Magic, and I had never actually played Magic at the time. So he's like, oh, I'll just bring some cards in and I can show you how to play. And I played other card games and things like that, so I knew what it was all about. So he gave me some cards, and I built a deck with it. And I went in and brought my deck that I had, and he brought some starter decks and stuff like that. I ended up beating him with the deck that I had, and we were playing right there on lunch break at work. And then we got to the point where other people that played Magic would start to come in, and we'd all start playing. And it was kind of cool to go into the break room at lunch and see like 3 different tables of Magic playing. We actually all went like out to eat like after work one day and played like a 5-6 player game at Taco Bell one day, which was pretty cool to hang out with your coworkers and not only have work to talk about, but have these other games and decks and things that you're building. Not that I'm trying to promote Magic, because that's a lot of money, but I mean, it's a good game as long as you don't play it too seriously. But yeah, some of those guys left, and I tried to get out of Magic because it's just too expensive, so I started playing other games with random people, which is pretty cool. I started bringing like Munchkin and Flux and stuff like that, which later on I learned was a pretty big mistake because I didn't want to play Munchkin and Flux. Because after a while, those games can grate on you pretty bad. But then we started bringing things like Zombie Dice, and it's cool to have like different games that aren't that hard for people to learn. But we'd be sitting there playing Magic on lunch break, and the store manager would come in. I mean, we're on lunch break. It's free time. We can do whatever we want. We're not technically on the clock. So he's like, oh, what are you guys playing, D&D? And we're like, no, this is Magic the Gathering. This is what it's about. But I actually do play D&D at home. He's like, oh, I had a guy in college who played D&D in my room. I never actually got into it or anything, but it's kind of cool to have those conversations with different coworkers and things. And you'd be surprised how much people are connected to gaming. Like, you might have gamers all around you, and you don't even know because people feel too awkward or shy to talk about it. It's kind of interesting when you're like trying to talk to somebody about their Warhammer 40K minis, and you don't even play Warhammer 40K, but they're all shy about talking about it because they don't want the other coworkers to hear, oh, they do this nerdy Warhammer 40K painting miniatures things. And I think that's all awesome, and we should be trying to let people know, hey, I play D&D and board games and Magic the Gathering and all kinds of stuff, and we shouldn't be like cowering away. We should be trying to explain those things to people that don't understand. Because I mean, sometimes it's like, oh, what's that? I don't understand what you guys are doing. That's not Monopoly. But it's cool to show people maybe a different side of gaming that they didn't know, and share with them your experiences of the exciting things that you've done. I actually at work, they were doing different little certificates for different people, and they were trying to have serious certificates for people and then funny ones. So for the serious one, I got awarded the best partnership in the store for helping out, for doing all sorts of different things. just for being a good partner. But the funny one they gave me was the person most likely to play games that normal people don't understand, which I thought was amazing because not only do my friends or my small group of people that I hang out with work know that I play these games, but the whole store knows, hey, we play these games. We'll talk to you about them, or we'll play different things, just sort of evangelizing gaming as a whole. But I just want to talk about a few other games we tried. Talked about Zombie Dice. We played Yikers, which is really just a really silly game. It's almost like a dexterity game. You have these magnets that you put on a little mat, and you have to have them not touch each other. So it's almost like very Jenga-ish, so it's not really like hardcore gamer game or anything like that. But it's like a silly little game that takes less than 15 minutes to play, so you put all the little things on the mat and try not have them thing together. We're having so much fun playing it that the store manager actually came up and played a few rounds of it with our HR person. And they're like, oh, this is awesome, I need to buy this game, and they were asking where you could get it and stuff. So it's kind of cool to be able to spread even just silly little games like that. A few other games I tried with my friends, which worked out really good at work on lunch break, is Sushi Go. It's a cute little drafting game. The theme's not super crazy or anything like that, and you just pass the cards around to try to get points. But yeah, so I guess the moral of the whole story is don't be afraid to try to play games in front of people, because if they ask you questions, hey, what is that? That's a good thing. That's a plus. There's plenty of games that we tried that ended up being a little bit too long or a little bit too crazy. My friend always wants us to play Magic Commander on lunch, and I'm like, there's no way we can play with 40 life and Magic in time to be out of lunch, and we're not trying to get fired for being there too long. But I've tried to play like Summoner Wars, and just taking up table space is a little bit too much. We played a bunch of Citadels, and that was fun. But sometimes that game drags on a little bit too long too. We normally have to like stop halfway through the game. But just try to not be ashamed of your gamerness, and tell other people about your hobby and get excited about it. One of the games that I've had that I play at work, which leads to the second part of this, is that's worked really, really good, is Love Letter. This is the Legend of the Five Rings version, which I haven't actually even opened yet, but my friend has a copy. But it's pretty awesome because it has like a green thing. Love Letter is a game where you are trying to basically get your love letter to the princess, and you do that by knocking different people out. So this has the cool Legend of the Five Rings on it. There's different cards like guards and things like that, and plenty of people have done reviews on this game, which will show you more about it. But you're basically trying to get your love letter to the princess, and you do so by knocking other people out with guards or switching cards around, things like that. And if everybody, you're basically trying to knock people out, and if everybody stays in, or the people that remain in, whoever has the highest number at the end. It's really simple. I have played this game with my wife. She likes it a whole lot. I played it with my in-laws. They really like the game. I've played it at work. It's been a hit with all sorts of people. I've played it with people who don't even normally play games with us. They'll sit down and play Love Letter with us, which is a lot of fun. I've even played it with I bought it for my dad and brother for Christmas, and they've really liked it a lot. I also played it with my grandma, and she even grasped the games, and I've played it with my uncle. I've played it with tons of people, and I really, really like Love Letter. Like, if you do not have this game, I know it's simple, and some people rag on it for being, oh, it's just a little filler game, but this is the game that I wish I could have in my pocket with me everywhere I go, because it's just so much fun trying to deduce what people have in their hands and things like that. So I have this Legend of the Five Rings version. I have the regular version too, which is in my wife's car currently. But I've got all sorts of different versions too. I printed out a Game of Thrones version of the game, which is pretty cool. And we've played tons of games with the Adventure Time version of the game, which is a lot of fun also. Even now, whenever somebody plays a Baron, we always say, or we're trying to guess if someone has a Baron in their hand. We're like, oh, do you have BMO? Because BMO's the Baron in this. And no matter which version we're playing, we're like, hey, do you have BMO? Do you have BMO? Because the Baron's a card that normally gets stuck in your hand sometimes. And I also even made my own Twilight Imperium version just because, you know, Twilight Imperium takes 8 hours to play, and it's difficult to get to the table if they're not super extreme gamers. This way I can play with my Twilight Imperium races in 5 minutes. But yeah, so thank you, AG, for this game. If you make more copies or different types of this version game, I'll probably get it. Sadly, I'm already married, so I can't get the married edition that they came out with. Maybe we can trick them and say, oh, it's our 25th anniversary or something in several years. You should give it to us, AG. But just kidding. I'll be old by then. Anyway, so yeah, if you guys like this video, feel free to like and subscribe. If you have any comments about how you talk to people about gaming who wouldn't normally be into it, like your coworkers or different things like that, feel free to leave that in the comment as well. And just get out there and share games with everyone, because it's a ton of fun. Peace.